What's up guys, Nathan here, and today I want to talk about why 90% of poker players at least never win over the long term. There's one simple reason why. We're going to break it down for you in today's video. Let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so having played the game of poker professionally for over a decade and having coached hundreds of students, especially in small and mid-stakes games, I can definitely tell you without a shadow of a doubt, there is one specific thing that holds so many poker players back. I've talked about it again and again on the channel here. By the way, make sure you subscribe so you never miss my new poker strategy videos. What is it? It is freaking out when adversity strikes. It is going on tilt, getting frustrated, and throwing away all of their hard-earned winnings. You know, as a simple analogy, I'm making this video right now in 2022, and we can actually see a very similar thing happening right now in the stock market, in the crypto markets, because honestly, I've talked about many times about how playing the game of poker is really kind of like an investment or running a small business. There's a lot of crossovers to the world of investing, and if you're following the markets right now in 2022, you know that everything's diving, everybody's freaking out, everyone's panic selling. They're screaming from the mountaintops that, see, I told you crypto was a scam all along. All the crazy stuff because everybody's freaking out because the markets are down, and this is what people tend to do. We are not wired, we are not designed to handle short-term variance, ups and downs very well, and that is exactly what poker is all about. Poker is a never-ending and emotional roller coaster that a lot of people have a lot of trouble with. So this leads to poor decision making, this leads to playing a lot of bad hands, leads to making a lot of hopeless call downs, so on and so forth. And in its worst case, the most devastating case, it is moving up to higher stakes to, you know, get your losses back, to recover your losses, try to be captain comeback, and lose even more money to a cool, calm, collected player who is playing higher stakes, probably because they are at a higher skill level than you currently are at right now. So guys, one of the biggest lessons that I learned early on in my professional poker career is you need to understand that this game is completely a long-term pursuit. You're going to go through stretches sometimes that do not seem even believable in any universe. You're going to get strings of bad beats, of coolers, of setups, as they're called, miracle river cards that are just going to blow your mind, and sometimes it's going to happen for weeks or months on end. I've written blog posts in the past about this, how I nearly quit this game so many times because it literally felt like I would never win another hand of poker again. My confidence completely plummeted. All of a sudden I was thinking maybe all the haters are right, maybe I really am terrible at poker, but I would always go back to the cold hard data, the real long-term statistics, my graphs, and so on. If you play online poker, I've been using a program called Poker Tracker for over 10 years. I'll link that up in the description below. And in the darkest depths of my most brutal downswings, I would actually just go into Poker Tracker. I would get my long-term graph over millions and millions of hands, and I would actually just make that the new desktop wallpaper on my laptop just to sort of sear it into my brain that I am a long-term winning poker player. This is just a blip in the radar, just like if you look at the stock market, the Dow Jones, the S&P, whatever, over the last 100 years. This dip right now in 2022 is just a minor blip on the radar. The stock market's been going up at a rate of 7-8% over the last 100 years. Little downswings like this happen. Same thing in crypto. The graphs have been going in the right direction, and there's going to be years where things are not working out, when everyone's down on the asset. And the same thing happens in poker, guys. You can go through brutally long stretches, whether you play cash games or tournaments, and the reason why only around 10% of people ever have real lasting significant success in this game over the long term is because they're able to get over this illusion of the short term. I mean, we see it everywhere, guys, like online, in the casino, wherever. You see so many guys or girls, you know, peddling their bad beat stories to anyone who's willing to listen. And every time I see these people, I just kind of chuckle inside because I believe that these people have just already cracked mentally. They've already lost the game of poker before they even sit down to play because they're completely obsessed with the wrong thing. They're so wrapped up in their results in last night's tournament or, you know, yesterday's cash game where their ace king got cracked 3 times in a row by that fish. That's what they're focusing on. They're not focusing instead on improving, getting better, reviewing their hands in a program, once again, like Poker Tracker. There's so many ways to get better these days, and when I have rough downswings these days, that's actually what I do, is I say, okay, this is the time for me to go review my hands, see if I'm doing something wrong, am I tilting? And often I find that no, I'm actually just playing the same game, and what's happening right now is that big monster in poker called variance. I'm just getting the short end of the stick a lot right now, and therefore I just need to keep employing the same strategy, getting in there each and every day, and I will win over the long run. I don't need to get my emotions wrapped up in this like 90% of other people. And the final thing that has really helped me throughout my entire poker career is just always remembering when I'm going through a brutal stretch of the poker tables that everybody else at this table is going to go through the exact same thing eventually, and I believe that I'm going to handle it better than them. I see this as a personal challenge for me, and I really believe that real poker success is made in these moments. It's made when you're in the trenches, when you're getting kicked in the teeth, you can't win for days, weeks, or months on end. That is when we get to see who the real poker players are, and these are almost always the people who make the real money in this game and also survive and thrive in this game over the long run. Guys, I hope this one helped. Like and subscribe. If you found it helpful, I'll catch you next time. This has been Nathan Williams with BlackRain79.com.